Now at 4, not one, but 2 hit and runs at the same location. The renewed call for added safety measures at one specific Indianapolis intersection.
And finally, we are talking about some rain chances. A very slow moving system is going to be coming in for the weekend. What's the chance of rain that we get? We'll talk about it.
And today, state police responded to threats from organizers of local street takeovers. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here at 4 o'clock. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence, and we begin with new details in a hit-and-run crash that killed a woman on the west side.
She's been identified as 30-year-old Alexandra Leal. It happened last night. Police are still searching for the driver, and our Marina Silva learned it's happened there before.
It's fairly busy in terms of traffic here on Lyndhurst Drive. Everything's cleaned up after a deadly hit-and-run on Wednesday night. Witnesses tell 13 News that 30-year-old Alexandra Leal had gotten out of her vehicle to get something in the roadway, and she was hit.
It's especially infuriating when they are hit and runs.
Eric Colt is the founder of Indy Pedestrian Safety Crisis Organization. He says any time a pedestrian is hit is bad, but it being a hit and run makes it even worse.
So it's just really disappointing to see that sort of behavior out of drivers. Driving is a responsibility, and we really need people out there to treat it as such.
One of the recommendations that was made was to have stop signs for drivers. Now here on Kelly Street, there's one on each side. But as far as right here on Lyndhurst Drive, there are no stop signs.
William Ayala was killed in a hit-and-run accident at this intersection in September 2023.
What we see a lot is these incidents are happening in a lot of the same locations. There are certain locations within town that we are not surprised to see.
Over the summer, Indianapolis City County Council released their plans for Vision Zero, a plan to make Indy safe for pedestrians. Councilor John Barth introduced it.
Intent and the aim to by 2035 to eliminate traffic fatalities in Indianapolis.
Next month, the council is expected to be selected.
The intent of those meetings will be to collect information, to collect ideas on what we can do to reduce and eliminate fatalities and put out this plan.
To keep Hoosiers safe in Circle City. Reporting in Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
And Metro Police are investigating a shooting near Gardner Park on the east side. Police tell us a man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Now, this happened around 8:30 last night. That park is near 46th and Shadeland. Officers say this kind of violence is just becoming all too common. Right now, they tell us they're interviewing witnesses, working to piece together what happened and identify a suspect. And new data on Indiana child deaths in 2022. More than 4,400 Hoosier children died as a result of injuries. And the data shows numbers for children between 0 and 17 years old and reflect kids who are victims of homicides, drownings, suicide, and transportation accidents. DCS and the Indiana Department of Health says 308 deaths were investigated, and then in 61 of those cases, the death was confirmed to be caused by abuse or neglect. Now, this data was presented to a state legislative committee for review. We're working to get a response from decision makers as well as DCS.
Today, the Jasper County Sheriff's Office is refuting some claims from the family of Riker Earl. Earl is the 26-year-old father of 2 who died in police custody earlier this month. It happened in the town of DeMott, which is about 2 hours northwest of Indianapolis. Family and law enforcement agree that Earl was having a seizure when police and medics were called to his home. The family says authorities handcuffed Earl and pinned him to the floor. He became unresponsive and died 2 days later. But the sheriff claims deputies handcuffed Earl for his own safety, and when he began beating his forehead on the floor, officers asked the family for a pillow to cushion his head. The sheriff contends at no time was Earl's breathing restricted. He made the comments after reviewing the deputy's body cam footage.
State police are responding today to the Indianapolis Police Union's request to help out on the street.
As we've reported, IMPD is facing a record low number of officers on the ranks. They're short 300 positions. FOP President Rick Snyder calls it a crisis with potentially dire consequences and asked for help from state troopers. So today we spoke with the head of the state police, Superintendent Doug Carter, about that. Along with recent street takeovers, organizers have threatened online to continue these takeovers and resist officers who try and stop them.
That's a really bad idea. That's a really, really bad idea. And that's one of the things that we will lean into. That creates an environment of instability, and our citizens need stability. And we will support IMPD in those efforts.
Meantime, the FOP says to get more officers wearing the badge in Indianapolis, salaries just have to go up, and not by a little. As it stands now, mid-career officers, for example, somebody with about 15 years of experience, they make around $85,000 to $87,000 a year.
Well, days of living in the crosshairs of national politics is taking a toll on Springfield, Ohio.
Frequent bomb threats have disrupted daily life, leaving people who live there on edge over which schools or stores may be temporarily evacuated or closed at any given moment.
And as Laura Aguirre explains, impending visits by former President Trump and others are only adding to that strain.
A lot of stress. There are more bomb threats unfolding right now.
Community and city leaders in Springfield, Ohio, bracing for yet another day in a political firestorm.
Our goal is to get back to normal.
A goal that may have to wait as the rhetoric and misinformation targeting Haitian immigrants in that city intensifies.
They came in illegally. They're destroying our country.
Well, if Kamala Harris waves the wand illegally and says these people are now here legally, I'm still going to call them an illegal alien.
Springfield officials say most of their Haitian residents have temporary protected status, or TPS, which allows them to receive city services while they await employment approval.
TPS is a legal process. These folks have legal status.
This outside stuff since the debate has just been awful. They're eating the dogs.
Widely discredited rumors that could get worse in the days ahead.
I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks.
If either one of the candidates wanted to come to Springfield, it would be very, very difficult to have them here.
So difficult that Mayor Rob Rue on Thursday issued a proclamation granting him temporary emergency powers to more quickly mobilize resources against any risks like civil unrest, cyber threats, and other violence.
The people that came in, they're eating the cats. Just wish he would, out of the goodness of his heart, just acknowledge that he was misinformed and ask the groups that are here for hateful reasons to leave our city.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
All right, let's take a live look downtown Indianapolis on another beautiful afternoon. Boy, it's hot out there.
It is warm out there. I mean, I feel like we've been saying the same thing for the last 2 weeks.
Yes, we have.
I'm not mad about it. I'm happy to say it. Blue skies, 80s again, and Matt Standridge is here to tell us the same thing.
Yep, over and over again. But there are changes on the way. So we still have a couple more days of this.
Yeah.
But especially once we get into this weekend, we do have some rain on the way. So some folks are excited about that.
Yeah, we need that.
We need it because more burn bans came in place, and some big counties got burn bans today. Wayne County, so Richmond, Hagerstown, Centerville, you're now under a burn ban. Out west, Hendricks County, so Avon, Brownsburg, Plainfield, you're now under a burn ban. And Morgan County, Martinsville, you're under a burn ban as well. We're probably going to see a couple more expand before rain chances do start to move in. We've got a small rain chance tomorrow, and then better rain chances moving in towards the weekend. But right now it is mostly clear. You do have a little bit of haze, but that sunshine is just beaming right through it. We're at the upper 80s right now. There's no wind at all, not registering anything. So it's a little stiff out there with the temperatures. Once you get outside of Indy, we're in the low 90s. It's 91 in Shelbyville, Columbus, Bloomington, 92 right now in Bedford. So we are running just a tad warmer than we were yesterday. But there's a cold front on the way. It starts to arrive tomorrow. We've got a new severe thunderstorm watch out just southeast of Minneapolis. We could get a couple cells to try to pop over parts of central Indiana tomorrow afternoon and evening. We've got our own severe zone, mainly north and west of Indianapolis, really close to Lafayette, Crawfordsville, Kokomo, at level 1. There could be a couple cells that have a little bit of wind, but it's not as if everyone in the zone is going to get rain. There'll be maybe 3 pop-ups across the area, so that's why we have to watch out. But they could start to move into Operation Football. We've got some games, of course, tomorrow, and there could be some splash and dashers out there. So we'll be timing out this front. We'll also be timing out the next front for the weekend. The weekend front could be a little bit bigger. I want to take you outside on the roads right now. We are moving, but there are some slowdowns to really highlight. On the northeast side, 465, where we already have that construction, you got to reduce your lanes. We've had some debris in the road at times this afternoon, so we're a little bit slower than even normal. Out towards the north and west, 465 in the northbound lanes, we've had a stalled out vehicle as you're headed past Traders Point, and then also a stalled out vehicle there closer to US 36 Pendleton Pike on the east side. But specifically for this slowdown, we now have about a 14-minute delay as you're going from US 31 also towards Keystone and headed towards the Allisonville Road exit. So give yourself a little extra time. Headed eastbound, we're slow. Headed westbound, not so bad. This is what it looks like right now. Boy, that is a slow go. At times, people are completely braked and you're completely stopped, but you're looking from Keystone and you're headed out east towards Fishers. Also, quick highlight at the airport. Many of the flights are okay, but there are a couple Delta flights that are going to be big time delayed headed out this evening. So make sure you check with your carrier before flying out this evening.
All right, thank you so much, Matt.
Tonight, the Fever play the last game of the regular season. Tip-off against the Washington Mystics in D.C. is 7 o'clock.
And of course, you can watch the game right here on WTHR. And that means some of your favorite shows like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, that's going to move to WALV, which is channel 13.3.
You can find out where to watch them at WTHR.com/fever. And we're breaking down the keys to the game coming up in just a few minutes, so you'll want to stick around for that.
There we go. We've got much more ahead. Day 2 of attacks, the synchronized bombings taking place across Lebanon.
And the search is on for the duo who stole and crashed a New York subway train. Seriously.
Wow.
That's next.